It was a crisp autumn morning when Kim walked into Pastor Thomas Fatone's office, her face pale and her hands trembling. She had been a devoted member of his congregation for years, always smiling, always faithful. But today, her eyes were hollow, her spirit broken. She confided in him, her voice barely above a whisper, about the abuse she had endured at the hands of her husband. What had begun as a loving marriage had turned into a nightmare after just 1 year. The beatings had started small, a shove here, a harsh word there, but they had escalated into something unbearable. She begged Pastor Fatone for guidance, for prayer, for some semblance of hope. But Pastor Fatone, a man who had always preached about forgiveness and reconciliation, reacted not with compassion, but with anger. He was furious, not at Kim's husband, but at Kim. He believed she must have done something to provoke her husband's wrath. Instead of offering her support, he picked up the phone and called her husband, betraying her trust. "Your wife came to me with lies about you," he said. "But I know for a damn fact it's okay to discipline your wife because Pastor Andrews says it's okay." Kim's husband, emboldened by Fatone's words, saw this as permission to continue and escalate the abuse. That night, he turned his fury on her. The beating was brutal, unrelenting. By morning, Kim was dead. The news of her death spread quickly through the small community. Kim's family was devastated, their grief quickly turning to rage. They blamed Pastor Fatone for his reckless actions, for failing to protect her, for betraying her confidence instead of offering the care she had so desperately sought. They demanded justice, but the law could not hold him accountable for her death. The police ruled it a domestic violence case, and Kim's husband was arrested, but Pastor Fatone walked free. Kim's family, however, was not done. They hired a lawyer and sued Pastor Fatone for his role in her death. The court found him liable for his negligence and reckless behavior. The judgment was severe. He lost everything: his savings, his car, even his home. All of it was stripped away to pay the damages. The church, once his sanctuary, turned their backs on him. They saw him for what he truly was, a man who had failed to listen, to believe, to protect. His sermons about faith and forgiveness rang hollow now, and his congregation dwindled to nothing. In the end, Kim's family found a small measure of peace. Though they could never bring her back, they felt justice had been served. Pastor Fatone, once a respected figure in the community, was now a broken man, penniless and homeless. He wandered the streets, a living reminder of the dangers of ignoring the cries of those in need. And Kim, though gone, became a symbol of courage, a reminder that no one should ever be silenced when they speak out against abuse. Her story, tragic as it was, sparked change in the community, ensuring that her voice would never be forgotten.